hopefully, when I take the sponge rollers out, I'll have bouncy, beautiful, shiny curls. Hello my pearls, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. My name is Regina and this is Naturally Corporate. So y'all, I know that a lot of times we get our hair done, we go to the salon and get that fresh press. Well, that's what I did last week and my scalp is really itchy, but I'm gonna bear it and get some more wear out of this flat iron. It's still nice and silky. I do have a little bit of flakes, but I want to preserve this flat iron for another couple of days before I shampoo it. And I'm going to put in some curls, some heatless curls. We're doing sponge rollers. Love sponge rollers. And I was trying to think of what product I wanted to put on my hair to give it a little bit of hold, just a little bit of hold. And I'm using none other than Chief Rocker by The Dew. This is a gel to foam styler. So all I'm going to do is just put a little bit of this on my hair and then put the sponge rollers in. So hopefully, when I take the sponge rollers out, I'll have bouncy, beautiful, shiny curls. So let's go ahead and put those sponge rollers in. All right, ladies, let me show you the sponge rollers that I'm using. These I purchased at Just My Beauty Supply store, and this is the size large. So you get 8 in a pack, and they're relatively inexpensive. I might have paid $1.99 for these. And when you use sponge rollers, buy more than what you need, because I got so frustrated the last time. The clasp kept popping off and I couldn't get it back on. I would have my hair rolled the way that I wanted it to be and I was satisfied with it. When I went to go and clasp it, it would pop off on this end. So frustrating. But I have this many, not sure how many that is, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all. But what I love about the evolution of sponge rollers is that these have a satin lining on them. Can you see that? That shiny satin? So whereas back in the day when, you know, my mother would let me roll my bang, I couldn't cut it for the longest, but you know, when I wanted the bang, I used my little sponge roller and I rolled it all the way up with an end wrap. But with these satin-lined rollers, you don't have to do that because the satin on here protects your hair from drying out. And that's what we want. So normally when I want to preserve my hair, I'll do very loose curls. I'll use about maybe 5 or anywhere between 4 and 6 of the extra large size satin rollers, but I want some more curls. I want more fluffy. I want just more curls in my hair. So I'm going to use as many of these as I can to get the look that I want. And I've got my Chief Rocker right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put these rollers in and stretch this thermal flat iron style at least for another couple of days because I paid too much money for it. All right, so I'm gonna just make some little parts, no rhyme or reason. I'm just gonna put the rollers in. If you see a little dandruff, hey, it's normal. My hair is a week old, and for me, that's expected. So let me ask a question. Have y'all heard of such a thing called growing dandruff? Growing dandruff. I have a longtime friend who years ago suffered with, and maybe she still does, but anyway, she had a lot of dandruff and you could just see it at the roots of her hair. You know, it was just one of those things. It didn't look horrible. And she said that she was always told that was growing dandruff, meaning your hair is growing, I guess, pushing the skin out of your scalp. I don't know. That's all. I don't know anything about it. I've just heard of it. It may be one of those old wives' tales even. I don't know. Or there may be some truth behind it. I'm not saying I have growing dandruff. Y'all, I just got dandruff. Just got dandruff and dry scalp. But if you have heard anything about growing dandruff, let me know, because I'm just curious. And, you know, back in the day, at that time, there was no internet. So it wasn't something that I could just come home and Google. And I didn't, you know, protest. I'm like, well, hey, she said it's growing dandruff. If her mama or somebody told her it was growing dandruff, then they must know what they're talking about. All right. Uh-oh. You know what? I haven't used this in a while. Hold on. Let's see. It's supposed to be gel to foam, y'all, but it's just coming out liquidy. Ooh. Well, look at that. Okay, I tell you what. It kind of foams up in my hands. So let's do this. It's not coming out as a foam for me like it's supposed to. But we're gonna roll with it anyway. And see how it goes. Now it's hot. I got my little fan on, so. I'm about to be real extra. I'm doing some little twirly twirls. I think heatless curls are so convenient, easy and convenient. Now watch this. I hope it doesn't pop off. All right, that one was successful. I got it to work. I think I just hadn't used it in so long. It was stuck. All right, ladies, this is my last roller. And don't be afraid to use larger rollers. I mean, the curls will be bigger, come out kind of wavy. I really, really like that look. But for today, just doing something a little different. And use the product of your choice. So I have used, when I've done sponge rollers and also flexi rods, I've used this curl cream from Uncle Funky's daughter. It's the Super Curl. That made my hair so shiny and soft. The curls didn't last as long as I wanted them to, but this is really good. No hold at all, which is great because then if you changed your mind and wanted to wrap it the next night, you could wrap it because the curls are so soft and flowy. No hold with this, but I used a little bit of Chief Rocka. On some areas of my hair I might have used too much. My fingers are already sticky because this has really good hold, but this is my first time using it with sponge rollers. I've always done twist out, so I'm excited to see how it's going to come out. Yeah, if you have not tried sponge rollers, I encourage you to. You just might be amazed. What's old is new again. So here is my dry roller set. And then, yeah, I'm just going to take them out in the morning and hopefully have some good looking curls. Y'all, this is one reason I love being a woman. We have so much flexibility with our looks, our hair, our clothes, makeup, just so many options. Look at that. Oh. I slept very comfortably last night. I meant to say though, make sure when you're putting your sponge rollers in around your hairline and your nape in the back, just don't roll it too tight because you'll be putting pressure on those areas and it may be uncomfortable, but I slept great. Look at these, and they are super soft. Oh my goodness. And with a little bit of hold from the Dew Chief Rocka. Y'all, I'm gonna fluff these out just a little bit. Not fluff them out, I meant separate. But I am so pleased. Heatless curls, heatless overnight curls. And honestly, it was late when I rolled my hair last night. And I got up at about, and when I say late, it was midnight. It was after, a little bit after midnight. And I did my hair and I woke up this morning. Well, I should say right now I'm taking these out, and it's been about 7 hours. So 7 hours, heatless overnight curls, supreme shine and definition. And I went from straight to curling. I love it. And my hair, because there is a little hold on it, I'm very certain that I can just put my hair up in a puff tonight and rock it. So amazing. All right, ladies, here is my finished style. I just can't, I'll never get over the effortlessness of using sponge rollers. Because look at this, you saw my hair was flat in the beginning of this video, and I've revived it just with a few rollers and a styler. Let me show you the back. The sponge rollers did not come to play. I am so happy that I decided to extend my stretched hair, my flat iron hair. And look, I have an entirely new look, an entirely new style, heatless. I did this overnight. I put in the sponge rollers and I slept in them very, very comfortably. I put my bonnet on top. And this is what I got. And oh, the bounce. The bounce is off the chain. But look at this. So ladies, look, I wanted to bring you not only an alternative to heat styling your hair if you want curls, but also remind you about sponge rollers. Get the ones with the satin lining. The plain ones, the old-timey ones, those pink ones, because they only came in pink way back when. But don't get the ones that do not have the satin lining. That's my recommendation. If you do, just know that they're gonna dry out your hair. And this is not dry hair right here. Okay. I love it, y'all. Let me know in the comments if you have tried sponge rollers recently, or are you planning to try some sponge rollers? Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies. Love you much. And until next time, keep it naturally corporate.